Okay, so this is just my, I just finished watching Gratex's take, and I've been thinking and talking about the Thunderfoot thing, and I agree with Gratex a lot. Everything that's happening is what you'd expect. It's definitely systematics. We ought to all agree on that. Furthermore, he has one analysis to offer that is just like I'm talking, this is the water the horses won't drink. You know, the addiction to the high, the neuropeptides, the reward system that's getting invoked leads to a continuation. You get addicted to that. But the other thing is there's this other analysis I wanted to offer. And really when I've been watching this develop for years. And for example, I originally liked Hard Case Owns You, Fake Sagan, because he was one of the few that was willing to call other atheists on things. But maybe he was just jumping the gun on the inevitable division, subdivision addiction. Or maybe he just went through something personal. Be that as it may, my analysis is there's a sort of a static information analysis that also shows that this will lead to this kind of factionalism, and that is that all dogma is factional. You know, dogmatists tend to assume that they're all getting their truth from the same source, the Bible, from Carl Sagan, whomever it is, and they just go on that assumption and establish themselves as a group identity. Then, as they get to know each other, they find they disagree with each other on what they thought were fundamental and universal interpretations of their common source. Then they get the real Scotsman and the fake Scotsman, and you know, it's inevitable, because this is what happens when, as the dogmatist finds out their assumptions that somebody agreed with them lack detail, and in the detail there's always individual differences that are unacceptable to the dogmatist, and the dogmatist just is discovering the slow way that there's divisions between them and every other person. But I do think, you know, Gratex is more functional, more materially primal, and it has more raw data to it. This really is the process. One way or another, we're just trying to describe the way the horses herd themselves and then break themselves down into smaller herds. I think it's a process that's teaching people slowly and sometimes the hard way about individuality. So I was willing to step to the side. I mean, I've always been an atheist, sort of a naturalist atheist, a spiritually friendly but no organized religious God type person. And then I got my philosophy degree, where basically, you know, questions of theism were not considered enigmatic, or they're basically considered solved for at least 100 years in some source material further back than that, right? So I just stood to the side, kind of thought, well, that's good, at least people are expressing their atheism. But I did see this coming. If YouTube had been an atheist site started by an atheist, I would have long ago been banned, right? But I mostly stood to the side. But yeah, I mean, really the whole concept of it is a movement, and the assumptions of agreement people make, they were ignoring signs that could be obvious to them. But they need to understand how knowledge works in order to get any real knowledge.